She's not your blood, Hannah. She's mine. Those words left Ethan Marshall's lips like thunder. Hannah froze, clutching the letter hidden for 6 long years. The same letter that revealed how she'd found baby Laya, abandoned behind a warehouse near the Evergreen Lounge. Hook. But what if that tiny girl, barefoot and brave, was about to shatter a billionaire's world forever? Ethan's heart raced as memories flooded back. The night he was drugged, the woman he never saw again, the mistake that changed everything. Now in that tiny apartment, he faced the unthinkable truth. The little girl who walked barefoot into his office wasn't a stranger. She was his daughter. From that moment, everything Ethan knew about his life unraveled. Hook. Stay until the end, because destiny is about to prove families can reunite, even when the world tries to tear them apart. The marble floors of Skyline Plaza Tower gleamed like mirrors that morning in Chicago. Men in suits hurried past women in heels, the air smelling of coffee, money, and ambition. No one noticed the tiny figure near the revolving doors, a barefoot little girl clutching a worn paper bag. Her name was Leah Carter, only 6 years old, trembling not from fear, but determination. She had walked over an hour from Brookfield, her feet sore and dusty. Her mother, Hannah, lay weak in St. Mercy Medical Center, doctors refusing treatment without payment. That morning, when Hannah fainted again, the nurse's cold words cut deep. No money, no bed, so Laya made a choice. She would find a job. She'd heard whispers about a man who could fix anything with one phone call. The billionaire Ethan Marshall, owner of Marshall Holdings. People said he was ruthless, firing thousands without blinking. But his company was in that tall building touching the sky. So Laya went inside. The receptionist froze at the dusty child in a torn yellow dress. "Sweetheart, you can't be here," the guard said firmly. "Go home," but Laya didn't move. Her voice barely a whisper. "Please, sir. I'm not here to beg." "I want to work," the guard laughed. "Work? You're 6. Laya sat on the cold marble floor, clutching her bag. Inside, her treasure, a crayon drawing. She waited quietly, even as people stared. Paige Monroe, Ethan's secretary, noticed. Something in the girl's eyes stopped her. Those eyes weren't desperate. They were brave. Paige knelt. "What's your name, honey?" Laya whispered. "My mommy's sick. They'll send her away if I don't pay. Please, I can clean, sweep, run errands. I don't want money. I just want her to live." Paige's throat tightened. She took the girl's hand. "Come with me." The lobby went silent as the barefoot child stepped into the elevator with Paige. Doors shut. They rose to the top floor, where Ethan Marshall, the coldest man in the city, ruled from his glass office. Ethan was signing papers without looking up. "Who is it, Paige?" I said, "No interruptions." "It's a child, sir," Paige said softly. Ethan's pen froze. "A what?" Before he could react, a small voice. "Sir, please don't be angry. I came to find a job." Ethan looked up. Time stopped. A tiny girl with tangled hair, red eyes, trembling hands. She held out her crayon drawing. A little girl giving a flower to a tall man in a suit. Beneath, shaky letters. "Please let me work. I'll help you. My mommy is sick." The billionaire's chest tightened. He stood slowly, walked around his desk, knelt to her level. "You want to work for me?" "Yes, sir," she whispered. "I'll do anything." "Why me?" "Because they said you can fix anything," Laya said softly. "Maybe you can fix my mommy too." Ethan's throat went dry. Years since anyone looked at him with such faith. He saw flashes of his own lost daughter, same age. He took the paper gently. "Come with me," he said. Paige's eyes widened. "Sir, are you sure?" Ethan didn't answer. He took the little girl's hand and led her out. Hallway buzzed with whispers. The billionaire who never smiled holding a child's hand. Cameras turned. Assistants froze. Ethan ignored them. Outside, he opened his Blacktown car. "Get in," he said quietly. Laya hesitated, then climbed in, legs dangling. As the city flashed by, Ethan stared at the drawing. Something inside him broke open. "What's your mother's name?" he asked. "Hannah Carter," Laya replied. "She never complains, even when hurting. But the nurse said she'll die if we don't pay." Ethan's jaw tightened. "Then we'll pay." At St. Mercy Medical Center, nurses' faces paled. "Mr. Marshall, what are you doing here?" "Which room?" he demanded. Minutes later, he stood at Hannah's bed. She looked weak, skin pale as paper. Laya ran to her crying. "Mommy, I found someone. He said he'll help." Hannah tried to sit up, confused. "Sir, please." "I don't understand." Ethan stepped forward. "You don't have to. Just rest." He turned to the nurse. "What's the total bill?" 50,000, sir," she stammered. Ethan pulled his phone. "Send account details now. Move her to a private room." The nurse blinked. "Are you a relative?" "No," Ethan said sharply. "I'm the man making sure she lives." The room fell silent. Laya clung to her mother, whispering, "See, Mommy, I told you he can fix anything." Ethan couldn't speak. Watching the girl's hope, he felt warmth, maybe purpose. That night outside the hospital, city lights behind him, Ethan looked up and muttered, "What are you doing to me, kid?" For the first time in years, the cold billionaire smiled. The next morning, Marshall Holdings buzzed like a shaken hive. Rumors raced. The barefoot girl who walked into Ethan's office, now holding his hand, some said lost relative, others publicity stunt. No one explained why the typo-firing billionaire softened. At 9:30, elevator doors opened. Every head turned. There was Leah Carter, no longer barefoot, in a clean blue dress Paige bought her, hair in neat braids, smile shy but radiant. Beside her, Ethan Marshall, holding her hand like glass. The lobby froze. Ethan stopped mid-lobby, loud enough for all. "This is Laya. She's my assistant. Anyone who disrespects her disrespects me." Silence. Stunned glances. The billionaire defended a child publicly. In his office, Ethan set a small table by the window. Crayons, paper, juice boxes. "That's your workspace," he said. "You'll help with important matters." Laya grinned. "Like what?" He smiled faintly. "Like reminding me not to be a robot." Paige watched, eyes glistening. She'd never seen him joke or laugh. That afternoon, high-stakes meeting with investors. Millions on the line, tense. Laya sat coloring quietly. Adults ignored her until one investor's suit jacket tore. Laya stood, whispered, "Excuse me, sir. Your jacket's ripped." Room froze. Man embarrassed, then laughed. "Guess I needed an assistant like her." Table chuckled. Even Ethan smiled rarely. By end, investors relaxed, cheerful. Deal sealed. Paige leaned to Ethan. "That girl just saved a $200 million contract." He didn't answer, but lips curved. "Remind me to give her a raise." But not everyone was happy. Vanessa Hale, senior executive, ambitious, elegant, feared. She'd built her career loyal to Ethan and secretly loved him. Waited years for him to notice her like he now noticed Laya. That afternoon, Vanessa stormed into Connor Reeves's office. "Have you seen him? Drawing with a child while the company runs itself." Connor raised eyebrow. "Careful, Vanessa. He seems different, happier." "Happier," she scoffed. "With a street kid? He's losing his mind." Connor hesitated. "Maybe finding his heart." Vanessa's eyes hardened. "Then I'll make him remember who he really is." Later, she hired investigators. Find everything about that girl and her mother. Where they live, who they are, everything. While Vanessa's darkness grew, Ethan's bond with Laya deepened. Each day, her laughter filled the office. She brought coffee wrong, too much sugar. Not enough cream, but he drank it. She left drawings. Him, her, Mommy. One afternoon, Laya shyly, "Mr. Ethan, can we visit Mommy?" She asks if you're real. He smiled softly. "Let's show her I am." At the hospital, Hannah sat up, stronger. Ethan entered with Laya skipping. Hannah tried to stand. "Please, sir, you've done too much." Ethan shook head. "If anyone deserves help, it's the woman who raised this miracle." Laya handed drawing proudly. "Mommy, look. Me and Mr. Ethan at work. He lets me color by his big window." Hannah smiled, tears in eyes. "You're too kind, Mr. Marshall. How to thank you?" "Then don't," he said gently. "Just get better." Before leaving, he placed envelope on bedside. Hannah gasped, check for treatment, and a new life. "Why?" she whispered. Ethan looked at Laya. "Because she believes I can fix anything. Guess I should start living up to it." That night, in his car through glowing Chicago, Ethan's reflections stared back. He wasn't sure who he was anymore. Businessman, savior, or man rediscovering feeling. But across town, Vanessa stared at investigators' report. Photos. Hannah and Laya outside rundown apartment. Old adoption form. Birth record father unknown, slow smile. So the perfect angel isn't hers. She picked phone. Let's make this headline worthy. Something to destroy them. And remind Ethan who he is. Unaware, Leia slept with crayons by pillow. Ethan, from penthouse, whispered, "Why does it feel like I've known her all my life?" He had no idea the answer would break and rebuild his world. Hook. If you were Ethan, would you protect Leia no matter what? Will Vanessa stop at exposing the truth or go further? What secret ties Ethan and Leia? Next morning, chaos exploded across Chicago news. Headlines. Billionaire Ethan Marshall involved with fake child photos of Leia with sick mother. Accusations, not her real daughter, but orphan Hannah picked up. Media called it sympathy scam. Internet mocked Ethan's kindness. At Marshall Holdings, tension thick. Reporters outside. Employees whispered. Ethan arrived calm, furious inside. Stormed Page's office with tablet. Who leaked this? Page pale. I don't know, sir, but had access to hospital records. Ethan didn't blink. Then I know who. Elevator to Vanessa's office dinged. She looked up as Ethan slammed tablet. You did this, he said quietly, dangerously calm. Vanessa didn't flinch. People deserve truth, Ethan. That woman lied. Girl isn't hers. You were manipulated, Ethan leaned forward. Uncovering truth gives you right to destroy a child's life? She's not your problem, Vanessa hissed. A mistake left behind, that was it. Ethan's hand slammed desk, voice thundering. Don't ever call her that again. Vanessa froze, breath shaking. Never seen him this angry. If I find you behind this leak, Ethan cold, you won't just lose your job, you'll lose all respect. He turned. Slammed door, glass trembled. That night, Ethan drove alone, mind spiraling. Buried questions resurfaced. Hannah said found Leia abandoned 6 years ago. He remembered. Friends dragged him to Evergreen Lounge after big deal. Drunk heavily. Everything blurred. Next morning, hotel room, unknown woman. Ashamed, never spoke again. Now chest tightened. Connected? He sped to Hannah and Leia's apartment. Knocked. Hannah shocked. Mr. Marshall, something wrong? I need to ask. Ethan's soft, voice shaking. Night you found Leia where? Behind old warehouse near Evergreen Lounge. Crying and cold, wrapped in torn blanket. There was a note. Ethan's heart pounded. A note? Hannah nodded, reached box. Yellowed paper, shaky handwriting, I'm sick. Can't raise her. Conceived from a mistake. Please love her more than I could. Forgive me, words blurred. Knees weakened. That club that night? Oh God, Hannah frowned. Mr. Marshall, you all right? He looked, eyes with realization, tears. She's not your blood, Hannah. She's mine, Hannah gasped. What are you saying? Ethan took note, trembling. 6 years ago, I was drugged. Woke beside woman I never saw again. She must be Leia's mother. Silence. Then Hannah soft. You're her father? Ethan nodded slowly. Didn't know. But now I do. I'll never let her go. From bedroom door, tiny voice, and Daddy? Leia in pajamas, holding crayon box, eyes wide. Ethan turned, tears spilling. Knelt, arms open. Yes, sweetheart, it's me. I'm your daddy. Leia blinked, then ran into arms, crying. You're my daddy? For real, he whispered. Never leaving again. Hannah covered mouth, crying silently. Oh God, thank you. Next morning, emergency press conference. Every journalist, employee, critic in Grand Hall. Ethan walked in holding Leia's hand. Room silent. Before cameras, voice calm. Powerful. You've seen headlines. Read lies, here's truth. Looked at Leia, smiled through tears. This girl isn't just someone I helped. She's my daughter, my flesh and blood. Gasps. Ethan continued. Steadier. She walked into my office asking for job. Not knowing she gave me my life back. I thought I had everything, money, success, power. But nothing until her. Hall erupted in applause. Even cynical reporters teared. Cameras flashed as Ethan hugged Leia tight. If you doubt miracles, soft look at her. Afterward, Vanessa slipped out, shame burning. That evening, she visited their home, tears streaming. I'm so sorry. I hurt you. I was jealous. Forgot being human. Leia looked with innocent eyes. It's okay. Daddy says forgiving makes your heart lighter. Vanessa sobbed, knelt to hug. You're right, sweetheart. Thank you. A week later, Ethan announced, gave Hannah keys to beautiful house in Brookfield Gardens, appointed her director of Leia Foundation for Children, helping abandoned kids. Ethan spent nights no longer alone in penthouse. but with laughter, drawings, home-cooked meals. One evening, sunset over Chicago, Ethan watched Leah chase fireflies. Hannah set table. She turned, smiling. "You look peaceful." He nodded, quiet gratitude. "For the first time I am." Leah ran, laughing. "Daddy, look." "I caught one." Ethan scooped her, spinning. "You caught more than a firefly, sweetheart. You caught my heart." That night, stars over home. Ethan glanced at Hannah and Leah, his family. Whispered silent thanks, because sometimes fate doesn't find you. It walks barefoot into your office and calls you home. How did this story make you feel? Do you believe destiny can bring lost families together? If this touched your heart, comment 100 below. Tell us where you're watching from. Share this video so others feel the same warmth and hope.